Outsider, this is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart. Outsider is not part of plan. End of inquiry. Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived. Oh dear, that's a surprisingly tricky question. I'm probably not the person to answer it, but it is a genuine pleasure to meet you. We see no one, ever. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him. Give it time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community, but you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends. Where to begin? Maybe an introduction? I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader of the Pragmatist Society. Well, it is gratifying that even after all these years, my name isn't entirely forgotten. You see, I was an American president. Well, not literally, but in a sense I was. Everyone that lives here are clones. Some of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider. Well, to us, it's just the way things are. After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about. Sometimes violently. It's best to meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatists' position on matters. Well, it is one of the few concrete things we know about Crucible. If you want to truly know about the mission, the believers will tell you all about it. In fact, it can be hard to get them to stop talking about it. After you meet with them, I'll share my position. Be careful what you wish for. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Go speak with the Monerinas and Genghis Khan.
Welcome to town, stranger. Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay. For a modest fee, of course. He was, and I try to be. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that. I can work with that. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years. Happy to sell them to you. I'm hoping you come back for some repeat business.
You don't get old on Crucible unless you're smart. The mission is a lie, but we have a chance to build a real life here on Crucible.
I need to go out there. I want to see and do everything.
You're the most exciting thing that's happened. Well, ever. Change is coming.
Your ship. She's a beauty. It travels the stars, right? Tell me, what's it like out there? I don't know if that's flattery or curiosity. My name's Amelia Earhart. When I first woke up in this place, in my head, I knew all about my namesake, her life and her accomplishments. But I also knew how to fly a starship, reactor limits, thrust acceleration, vectors, and everything. In my mind's eye, I can imagine flying out there, touching heaven itself. And yet, cruelly, here I sit. The facility keeps us alive, fed, and protected, but they do a terrible job of informing us of anything at all. My guess is the facility thought they might need a pilot one day, but your guess is as good as mine. Am I that transparent? Listen, I know you owe me nothing at all, but I would do anything to get off of here. I know the societies want who knows what from you for who knows why, and I don't want to get involved in any politics. I just want, for my single self, a chance to explore. You won't regret it. Thanks. Do you want to talk about anything else? I have a few choice unchristian thoughts about some of them, but I'm going to stay out of it. Listen, I'd understand you making any decision you have to regarding them. Any at all. I just hope you judge me separate. I don't wish harm on anyone. I just want to explore. Goodbye, outsider.
Do not leave Crucible. Warning delivered.
I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirinas of the Kush, queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even the sands of time cannot take it from me. In truly ancient times, my land lay south of Egypt, a harsh country. History is enamored of my contemporary Cleopatra, but she would have withered and died had she tried to rule my land. Your courtesy is appreciated, even though it rings hollow. My subjects are all dust. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know this, but I feel in my bones that I am a Manirinas for true. The great and the terrible to those who would oppose me. I remember things no one has told me. Memories of faces, betrayers, lovers, allies, and enemies. And the smells. The right scent. And I close my eyes. And I can picture all of it so vividly. It aches my heart. My home. My kingdom. Have you no faith of your own? Something you hold to, even though it cannot be proven. It is the same with me. But I am certain. You speak to a Manirinas, reborn. You are wise then. I know how it must sound. Once, I called upon mighty armies. However, on Crucible I still lead. Have you heard of the believers? Have you heard of the mission? We are the ones who will take our rightful place in these settled systems to bring in a new glorious age and break the endless cycles of oppression and greed. So many scoff at the mission. Before we are reborn here, there are words all of us are told. That we are the chosen. We are meant to better ourselves. To learn, grow, and thrive. All of us represent the greatest figures in our history. Who better to lead the settled systems to a new golden age? You are skeptical. My advisors thought the same when Augustus Caesar stood unbeatable at Cush's border. I made war against the mighty Romans. I took their cities and fought them to a draw. No other king or queen can boast of that honor against that famed Roman. And that's just me. Some of the greatest lions of all ages are awaiting rebirth. What are bureaucrats, petty politicians, and lawyers against that? If we could do it ourselves, we would have, years ago. I do not care if you think my plan is insane. But what I want, what we want, is a chance to prove to the facility we are ready. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is supposed to set us free among the stars. But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years. And no one has ever been deemed worthy. I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim our birthright. Surely someone, anyone by now would have learned the lessons the facility sought to teach. No, the machines have not aged well. The crises break upon our beach, each one greater than the last. Then listen well, outsider. You must go to the facility. The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
From the stars, come to see me. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you. namesake, yes, a terrible, terrible person. But me, I'm really just a lowly prisoner, stuck on this pitiful planet. I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls. The novelty will fade. I say this from experience. So Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones? Some of us think that makes us special. That the deeds of our namesakes are somehow ours. But that is blind arrogance. We are just people. Same as you. Same as anyone. None at all. It is as if I were a student of his life and times from an early age. I know so much about him, but that doesn't mean I am him. I am me, and I am content with this. Perhaps you are right. Certainly, many in Crucible would agree. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day we will be free. A prison of the mind and the body. Crucible holds out a throne and says, "Obey, and it is yours." But thrones are meant to be taken, not handed to you by a machine. But it is a tantalizing lie that keeps the others in line. If Crucible had not hobbled us, we wouldn't. I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands. But now the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it. Even if you think I deserve this cage, does everyone? If you want your heartstrings tugged, talk to Amelia Earhart. Doesn't she deserve the stars she craves? You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
From the other societies. I must confess I'm very curious what an outsider thought of them and their positions. You might be the first objectively neutral party we've ever come across. A very diplomatic approach. The facility has gathered some of the most obstinate and dangerous personages throughout history. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age via whatever means they see appropriate. Setting us all loose, Parda as a whole, would invite disaster. We are barely fit to lead ourselves. Exceptionally so, but the pragmatists are different. It is evident that the facility is decaying. is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, grow, and govern ourselves, allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation, and to die when our allotted time is finished. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. We are just not there yet. Yes, and not to be indelicate, not for lack of trying. Are we even human in this state? We have no future, only the past. I am sure in time you will see the validity of my argument. Go to the facility and see what can be done.
Roosevelt is the only one that really cares about us.
is still hard to accept a stranger in our midst. My feelings about my namesake are complicated. He was a great but flawed human being. On one hand, he guided a country through the ravages of depression and war admirably. He tirelessly fought to improve the lives of the poor and disadvantaged. But as a husband, he was unfaithful. And as a colleague, he was a consummate politician, which is sometimes good, often distasteful. He was truly a great man, and I must confess, I am proud to share his heritage. Let me see. You have no idea what a reassurance it is to learn even these hints of our past. It sounds like the facility is in ruins, but perhaps the restricted section is intact? Think of the answers it must contain, and perhaps a way to help us become self-sufficient. But there is no security override code here. I would know. Think. Galathea's sister ship. Yes, if it can be found. Certainly, they had the capability of going into the heart of the facility. If anyone can figure a manner of locating the Beagle, it's Ada Lovelace. I'll radio her and explain the situation. I'm sure she will make every effort to assist.
Spaceship. Of course we did. And there's another out there? What was the Beagle? Why did she and the Galathea part? But all of that in time. First, we must find her. She's not in this star system. I would have spotted her. I've studied the celestial bodies for years. No trace of a spaceship in orbit here or around the other planets. The radio telescope. It has a default position. It resets every morning. I always wondered, why point at Bell 5? Petty frustration I've dealt with for years. Perhaps the facility looks for her sister. Yes, it makes sense. I can send you the coordinates. The Bell Star system is not far. The facility communicates via a secure frequency. When you arrive, tune into that.